Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel again. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to build your own resume, the Canadian style of writing a resume for either as a nurse or as a caregiver or whatever, because a lot of people have actually sent private messages to me which I've not been able to attend to. So I've just decided to make this resume just to serve as a guide in case you are ready to build yours. This might not really be a comprehensive one that you can use to apply. So, each resume you need to build, especially when you are applying for a job, needs to be different, which means if you have your master resume, at every time when you need to apply for a job, you constantly need to edit back your resume just to tailor it down to what the position is asking from you, which means if you have used this master resume to apply for a job role, at another time when you need to apply for another job, you need to first see what the requirements are, and those are the things that you need to narrow down your resume to. Otherwise, you might not be able to get a job. And one thing I need to let you know before I proceed is that in Canada, a lot of employers doesn't have enough time to go through resume one after the other. There is an application that is called ATS, which is being used to scan every resume. Majority of employers use this application. So by the time they put in your resume for this application to scan, once your resume doesn't have those quality words, those required, once your resume lacks those keywords, then you might not likely get a job, because the ATS will just scan it as not measurable to what it's needed, and the employer might not even have access to your resume. So by the time you're applying for a job, you need to always review your resume, edit it back, tailor it down to what the position you're applying to is requesting of you before you proceed with the job application. So quickly, let's talk on how to build your person. And just for a start, as you can see on my screen, the first thing you need to do is to write your name in bold form. Like I said, there are different styles of writing your resume in Canada, but the one I've chosen and which I've really stick to, that I've been using for years, is just this one that I'm showing you. So quickly, you write your name on top. So this one, I just come up with this name, Smith Gendon. So the next thing you want to do is to tell us your address. As you can see here, your address, I just put 12 Gateway Road, Place, Nigeria. So the next thing will be your phone number, and the last thing on that line is going to be your email address or your Gmail, whatever you are using. So the next thing you want to show us is your professional summary. So this professional summary is just the summary of who you are, because remember, you are applying for a job either within Canada or outside Canada, and the prospective employer doesn't know you. So you want to quickly tell us who you are, what you've achieved, and that is just the summary of the professional summary that I've just come up with. So you can just use this example. I'm a purpose-driven and self-motivated professional who is committed to safeguarding the medical needs, comfort, and emotional well-being of patients under care. Superb communication skills enable the development of a good rapport with patients, their families, friends, and visitors. Highly experienced and knowledgeable in a broad spectrum of nursing areas such as pediatrics, psychiatry, geriatrics, developmental support, among others. Level-headed healthcare professional dedicated to providing quality patient care, companionship, and support. Remains calm and effective in difficult and stressful situations. This is just the summary of who you are. At least so far, the prospective employer has already seen in this resume that, oh, you've had a previous experience working in pediatrics, psychiatric, geriatrics, and of course, in a difficult situation, you always remain as calm as possible. There are different ways of writing this professional summary. You can always go online, go on Google, you can, narrow it down to whatever that suits you when you are writing your resume. So after the professional summary, the next thing you want us to know is what are the skills? That is, what are those things that you've achieved and you are ready to bring in if you are eventually offered that position that you are applying for. Imagine as a caregiver, you must be able to provide companionship and emotional support for your patient. You must, know how to do some certain things. Like I said, this is just style of writing resume for any nurse or for any nurse that is trying to apply for a job. I believe you must be able to come up with more hard skills rather than all these soft skills which I've only mentioned. So you have the ability, to manage allergy, you have good knowledge of managing dementia patients, you are compassionate, you can do tube feeding, you can advocate for your patient, and those are just the skills, those things that you think you know how to do: wound dressing, catheterization. But you know what? When you are writing your resume, you must have this skill of keeping it so simple and just straight to the point. So the next thing after your skills will just be your work history. So you want to tell us all those things that you've done so far. For example, as a registered nurse, let's say maybe between February 2022 till present date, you are still working at St. Rose Haven Inc., Nigeria. So what are the things you are doing? Actually, with this one, you should be able to tell us the unit, like when you mentioned registered nurse from this period of time to current, and you've mentioned St. Rose Ave Inc. Before you write Nigeria, you must be able to tell us what unit are you working in. Is it psychiatric? Is it med-surg? Is it ICU? Is it psychiatric, mental health and mental health unit? Is it addiction unit? You must be able to let us know from here what you are doing particularly. So whatever you are doing in that unit will be those things that you are going to mention here. Like I said, this is just a style, and that is why I did not come up with any particular job duty. That is why I omitted the unit where I'm working. So, but general things, for nurses that you think you can do, those are the things I've come up with. You are training new nurses in proper techniques. You maintain quality care and comfort for your patient. You perform basic assessment and ensure documentation are up to date. Those are just qualities of a nurse, like basic things that we do on everyday basis. You want to maintain your patient privacy and confidentiality by making sure that just information that is needed is what you've collected. You want to update your patient charts, administer medications, treatment, monitor patient reaction to drugs, and you carefully document it. Yeah, of course, they will know that, oh, this one is a very good nurse, knows what he or she is doing. Of course, you want to evaluate your healthcare needs, your goals for treatment, available resources. You want to collaborate with physicians to quickly assess patients and deliver appropriate treatment while managing rapidly changing conditions. Yeah, so those are the ones I've just come up with, just for a nurse. And what if you are working as a caregiver before? This is why I have this slide here too, because personally, I've also worked as a healthcare aide here in Canada. So I just come up with some of the things that I usually do when I was working with healthcare, when I was working as healthcare aide in Canada. So I just come up with healthcare aide, I put the time, July 2019 to February 2022. And I just come up with this name, like Catholic Home Healthcare Solution, Lagos, Nigeria. So what are the things that you are doing as an healthcare aide? So this one can be a good description for any caregiver that is trying to apply for, caregiver job. So these are the basic things that you do. You want to promote good oral hygiene, personal hygiene by ensuring, by aiding patients with, by aiding or assisting patients with shaving, bathing, teeth brushing. You want to maximize patient satisfaction by helping individuals carry out personal tasks such as dressing and walking. You want to assist them with therapy exercises that has been specified by the care nurse. You want to adhere to all residents' lifting and safe lifting instructions and rules. You want to complete dusting, washing dishes, laundry, vacuuming for patients. Of course, those are the major, tasks for any caregiver. You want to assist patients with dressing, grooming, and feeding needs. You want to develop a rapport to create a safe and trusting environment for patients. You want to maintain a clean, safe, and well-organized patient environment. Those are the things that you will do as a caregiver anyways. You want to assist with patient transfer and ambulation. You want to maintain and organize patient rooms and communal spaces to minimize environmental and safety hazards. So there are a lot of responsibilities that you can actually put under this as a caregiver when you're applying or when you are building your own resume. And after that, the next thing will just be your education. You want to tell us what you have at hand. So for me, I have my bachelor's of nursing science, although I have so many, but just for you to have the idea of how to write a resume, I don't want to include everything. I have my general nursing, my public health nursing, my midwifery, but of course, I just try to write my highest qualification at the moment. Bachelor's of nursing science, I try to put the date that I completed it, even though it's not 2023, I just try to put it. Try to put the name of the school where you have the education. And after your education, so which means if you have had more than one, you can always include all your education under here. And the next thing is your professional qualification, that is your licensing body, your certification. So I just try to put two things here, like a registered nurse and the body which has licensed me is Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. And I just need to let them know that my license is still active. Sometimes you can put your license number just in front. It all depends on you, because of course they will still need to verify that one to make sure that you are actually real and you are still eligible to practice. Public health nurse, still active. And if you have had professional training certificate, of course you can always include it at the end of your professional qualification, like valid first aid and CPR AED level C certificate. I have my child abuse identification and reporting. I have foundation of infection control. I have NCI non-violent crisis intervention and lots more. But like I said, you want to keep your resume as simple as possible. But as you're trying to keep them so simple, so also you want to give us quality things. So if you have so many professional training, just try to limit it to the ones that are very useful, especially non-violent crisis intervention is just a way of managing yourself in case of crisis, how you want to escape from danger. So if you have got something like first aid, CPR, of course, that is very important. You need to also include it. And the last thing will just be your references. We don't want you to be writing the name of pastor, reverend, whatever, when you've not, when the employer has not really reached out to you. So you can just put available on request, which means by the time your employer go through your resume and maybe they develop interest in inviting you for an interview, of course, if you are successful after the interview, sure, they are going to ask you to provide some references, that is people that they can reach out to ask about your behavior, about your past, about your professional experience, to see if truly you are qualified before they eventually offer you the position. And that will just be the end of this video. So if you need help writing or building your professional resume, of course I do that, but not for free. I charge as little as by the time you reach out to me, we'll talk about that one. So yeah, that will be the end of this video. So if you are coming across this video for the very first time, or you are coming across my YouTube channel, of course, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the channel with your friends. And for all my returning viewers, honestly, I'm so much grateful for always coming back, for always tuning in again to watch the channel. You all make my channel growing, and I really appreciate you. I don't take that opportunity for granted.